Очень мало людей для такой музыки. Очень мало. Очень мало народу, да. Очень. Беспонтовая музыка. На самом деле, очень плохая музыка.
А зачем вы пришли сюда?
Я думал, намного лучше будет это все. И очень плохая музыка, просто очень плохая музыка. Я думал, намного лучше это все будет. Сколько раз сюда ходил, было намного лучше. Но на этот раз как-то не удалось. Во-первых, народу мало, музыка не очень.
А что за направление?
А?
Что за направление?
Направление? Какое направление?
Что за направление музыки играет там?
That's right, if you hadn't heard already, the Corellian Corvette has been added to the Publish 9 checklist. Believe it or not, it's been over a year since Publish 8 came out. My first Publish 8 video was posted during the first weeks of June 2016, and here we are coming to the end of June 2017 and still no Publish 9. Now, I will admit, those of you that follow the weekly updates on the website and check the forums very regularly probably know everything that I'm going to talk about in this video. But I know a lot of you don't. And quite honestly, there are a couple of you who have told me that you rely on me to provide you with your news and updates for the project, so here's some more. The main focus of Publish 9 has always been Jedi. Finish the village, get Padawans implemented, allow people to actually become Jedi. Whether you love playing a Jedi or you love playing a bounty hunter killing the Jedi, Jedi are a pretty important part to Star Wars Galaxies, even if they kind of signified the downfall of the game back in Live, but that's a whole nother story. At the end of the day, we knew Jedi were going to be added to Basilisk. It's part of the version of Galaxies that the project is aiming to emulate, so they're going to be coming eventually anyway. And really, I don't want to get into a whole debate over whether or not Jedi are good for Galaxies or not. We can have that discussion during a live stream or something. So as more and more progress on Publish 9 got made, the question became, at what point do we stop Publish 9 and, push it to Basilisk? How much content can we include in one update and then release it to the public? Or, in this case, more specifically, do we do the night trials? Quick background information: in order to become a Jedi in Galaxies, at least this version of Galaxies, you have to become glowy by getting badges, you have to complete the village by doing the quests and grinding the XP, then you have to complete what are called the Padawan trials. Once you complete the Padawan trials, you become a Padawan, you get your lightsaber, and you're technically a Jedi. At that point, you can be hunted by bounty hunters and, all that fun stuff. To advance beyond Padawan, you actually had to do what's called the night trials, which I believe went through a change at some point during Live, but in the version that SWGEmu is going to be emulating, the night trials are a bunch of kill quests. I believe it starts with killing Tusken Raiders, and then something else, and at some point in there you have to kill a certain type of, maybe a crate dragon, and I don't know the whole list by memory. I'd have to look it up. But one thing I do know is one of the NPCs that you have to kill during the night trials is an NPC that only spawns on board the Corellian Corvette instance. Now, the Corellian Corvette instance, again, for those that don't know or maybe didn't play Galaxies back in Live, is exactly what it sounds like. It's an instance, an instanced dungeon, unlike any that are in Galaxies right now. Typically, when you think of a dungeon in Galaxies, the first one that comes to my mind is the Death Watch bunker, then you have the Geonosian cave, you could also consider the Warren, any of those POIs that you could go to that are not, they're very difficult, but they're not instanced. In other words, you can go in and there could be another group of players there, and you're going to compete with that group of players for whatever kind of loot or spawns are already in that dungeon. The Corellian Corvette instance was the first instance in Galaxies. It was legitimate instance where you got your group together, you traveled to an NPC, you spoke to the NPC, depending on what faction you were is determined what NPC you spoke to, and you would be teleported to this instance. Took place on board a Corellian Corvette, much like the Tantive 4 that's seen at the beginning of A New Hope. So instead of coming up with some workaround for having to kill this one NPC, the project developers decided, hey, if we're going to include the Jedi Knight trials, in Publish 9, we might as well do the Corvette too. And they've been working on it for a little over a month now. I haven't personally done it yet, but I've spoken to many of the quality assurance folks and a couple of other people that just play on Nova every once in a while, and apparently it's getting pretty close to completion already. I had actually planned on jumping on and recording some footage of it today, but of course, Nova's down, so you're just getting me talking to you in front of Mos Eisley Cantina. But what does this really mean? Well, first thing it means is Publish 9 is going to be one hell of an update. Adding the entire Jedi Village, Padawan Trials, Night Trials, and the Corellian Corvette instance all in one update? I mean, to me, that's kind of mind-blowing. I don't know how many streams I've had where people have asked me, hey Mobius, how much is left of the project until it's done? And the three things that I would say are Jedi, the Corellian Corvette, and jump to Lightspeed. Well, and the Imperial Crackdown, but that's not really a major thing. Which, hell, even Publish 9 is laying the groundwork for the Imperial Crackdown. It's probably not going to be totally working, but they've already added a couple lines of code in there to get things started on that. So if Publish 9 is adding both Jedi and the Corvette and laying the groundwork for the Imperial Crackdown, let's knock on wood before I say anything here. And obviously, I'm just a community tester. I don't have any, ins with the developers or anything. But I kind of feel like, at this rate, Publish 10 might be the last publish before they start working on Jump to Lightspeed.
Yeah, boy!
I can't see what else needs to be done on the ground game. I'm sure there are a bunch of minor bug tweaks and little things here, like maybe, I think there's a Bestine election or something that they can add. But Jedi and the Corvette make up such a huge chunk of what is left to do that it makes sense that Publish 9 has been delayed this long. It may only be another couple months before it's done. If it hadn't been for them adding the Corvette to the checklist, we'd have had Publish 9 already. However, Jedi progress would have been limited at Padawan. Now, personally, I think that would have been fine, considering the fact that the village takes 3 months to get through anyway. So that's 3 months before anybody's even going to be able to become a Padawan, which means those 3 months could have been used working on the Night Trials and the Corvette and that stuff while the rest of us started grinding our Jedi. But ultimately, it doesn't matter. We're going to get it all anyway, and it's going to be awesome. So that's all for this video. I just wanted to fill you guys in on why Publish 9's been taking a little bit longer than expected. I know it's been several months since I've been quoted telling people that Publish 9 would be done in a couple months. But it's exactly reasons like this why the official project developers don't give estimations or release dates on when updates are coming out, because stuff like this happens. If the scope gets expanded, then the date gets pushed back, and that's just how it works. So that's it for now. I hope you guys learned something from this video. Let me know what you think about this news in the comments. Hopefully Nova will be back online soon so I can start recording more Village videos. But until then, Mobius1 here. I'll see you guys next time.